Morning, I'm here to talk about signs. I believe everybody gets signs, including me. They're not some lightning bolt coming down and hitting a tree next to you or anything like that. They're usually very subtle. It might be a bird, it might be an animal. I've had people get rabbits that they never saw before, actually hop up on the front step of their house. They have to, if it's an animal or a bird, the bird or animal has to be acting differently. A little bit abnormal, not totally abnormal, but a little abnormal. I have one client, he gets incredible signs. Right after his mother, I think his mother died, he saw on the floor a broken rubber band in the shape of an E, which was the first initial of her first name. Now that's just, when I saw it, it was incredible. And this is old, so this is not something he just created just to, for attention. This is not who that guy is. I've known him for a very long time. I worked with him as a photographer years and years ago. Anyway, he also got signs, and he's getting a lot lately, especially right after his daughter passed. He saw some grayish-white feathers too, and they were crossed at the bottom of a cross, and that was, to me, angel wings. And his daughter was letting him know that she's with him. He also got a cardboard cross. It was something out of an underwear box or something. Threw it down, threw it away. Ended up on the side of the arm of a couch. Again, it made a perfect cross. So it really looked really good. No ragged edges. Another sign. So his daughter passed not too long ago, and of course, he's having issues with that, as any parent would. Okay, and she's letting him know that she's there. Recently, he got into his car, and there were 5 leaves on the 4 leaves on the front of his car, like this, and one pointing up. Okay, they were perfectly spaced. For somebody to do that would have taken a long time, and be no reason for that. Somebody didn't come walk around down the street and say, "Oh, let's put some of these leaves on this guy's car." They didn't fall from the tree like that, that's for sure. Okay, then I looked. He gave me a wider angle. I looked at the finger pointing up, and it was pointing to a car sign that I think was on his car, on his windshield or window. And I got that it was Dad. Dad had something to do with cars. Well, yeah, his dad ended up driving a lot for his uncle and, to the airports and stuff like that. That was a sign from Dad. Now, I was skeptical on that one. I really did a deep dive. At first I thought, no, this is not a sign. Somebody did this. But then the more I looked at it, the more I realized nobody's walking by on the street grabbing 4 or 5 leaves and placing them perfectly spaced, perfect height. No reason for it. So yeah, we get signs. So look for them. It might be just the TV going on and off, maybe a channel change for some reason. People think, by the way, that's their remote control. It's not, trust me. Lights going on and off. I just recently did a session with a couple, and the grandmother was there telling me that she's watching out over the daughter that's under 6. By the way, they start to lose the ability to see them after 6 years old for some reason. Not all, but most do. And I said, your grandmother's lighting lights. You got lights going on and off, or something's happening with lights. After I told them about her grandmother being there for her daughter. And they thought, no. Then all of a sudden they realized, yeah. And you know where those lights were going on and off? In the child's room. Total sign. Okay, again, like I said, I'm a skeptic. I just recently had a sign. I'm writing a book. I'm writing a sequel to my romance novel, The Lunch, and it's going to be called The Cocktail Party. And I got bored. I wasn't going to do it. Then all of a sudden, whoever was telling me the story of the first book was with me again. I was writing nonstop, and then I took it into a creative direction, and bam, I hit the wall. Stopped writing. They don't want me to go in that direction. I'm going to delete all that I wrote. So I also started, now here's where the sign is. I also started a book about my father's war service. He flew missions over Germany in the B-17s. And the first mission, he was shot down. So there's a new Facebook page on the B-17 Flying Fortress. So I said, let me post a picture of his plane that was ditched in the North Sea. Not thinking anything. I've posted it before. And, all of a sudden, within an hour or so, I had over 300 likes and responded. I had like 40 some odd comments. I think it's 28 or 30 something shares. I forget all the numbers actually, but it was incredible. I'm like, wow, this is, so I posted the same thing on my Facebook page, and I got a few normal, nothing expensive. So I'm like, okay, got a lot of hits. First of all, it's amazing I got so many hits. Then I'm reading some of the posts, and all of a sudden somebody posted 12 O'Clock High, the movie from 1945, I believe. I could be wrong. And I watched the movie. I started watching it, and wow, this really hits home. I had a feeling about this. Then I realized I got to start writing that book. Between that Flying Fortress link flying into my Facebook page, or news feed, and that's no big deal. It happens all the time. But by me posting and getting so many hits, now, by the way, now I'm over 750 hits on that page, okay? And it's way down on the list now, and it keeps getting hits. Between that, all the shares, and that link to watch that movie, I'm going to get back to writing my father's book. That was a sign for me. Anyway, folks, you're all getting signs. Be aware. It could be just lights. It could be something, something moved. It could be feathers like this guy. It could be a rubber band in a specific shape. This rubber band would have never, if it broke, it would have just laid out straight. Okay? No way that happened. I question everything. And I'm telling you, I really had a hard time with the leaves, but it just became more and more apparent from there that it was his dad. All right, guys. Always remain hopeful, never hopeless. Always be optimistic, never pessimistic. Please follow me, like this video, and comment if you will. All right? Thanks for everything. Have a great, great day. Bye for now.